Hi everybody, it's Candy from Honey Girl Home Creations. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I have another video for you. Today I'm going to show you how to make a wreath using a wreath that I got that's already got some things on it. It's kind of a little bit quicker and easier way to get some products made, especially if you're trying to get your Etsy shop up, or even just something for you or for your family. It's a really inexpensive way that you can make a beautiful creation and maybe not have that much time or effort or money involved in it. So here we go. First of all, let me tell you what all we're going to use. So here is my pre-made wreath. Back up a little bit, let you know. It is made from, I think it's called angel grapevine. It has some beautiful red geraniums and leaves on there, but you can see it's a little bit sparse, maybe not quite as full as you might like for it to be. So we're going to add some elements to it to make it be a little bit more full and make it more beautiful. I'm going to make it patriotic. So speaking of that, we also have a couple of ribbons. I have this one beautiful one that's red and white checked, definitely summertime. And as you can see, in blue glitter, it says God Bless America. So we're going to do something a little bit special with this one for this wreath. That's a 2.5 inch. And then I also found a 1.5 inch that coordinates. It's not quite as big. The checks are not quite as big, but they look really good with it. So I'm going to use that too. We're going to use some wire, floral wire. This is 26 gauge. We're going to use our wire cutters. I'm going to use some scissors, and I'm going to use our bow dabra, and let's see, can I tell you a little bit about what I'm using with it? So we're going to use some mesh, and of course the ribbon that I showed you. So the 1.5 inch ribbon that I showed you, we're going to use it with the mesh and make these little bundles. We're going to make 5 of these to go around this wreath. And I will give you the particulars on the measurements for those materials in just a minute. I'm going to show you this one last thing. So I've not made this wreath before, by the way, so we're going to figure this out together. I have it in my head what I want it to look like, and hopefully it'll turn out pretty close to that. I have made kind of a little banner with that beautiful ribbon that we had. So I have the God Bless America in the middle, and my idea is to have it stretched across the wreath, kind of like this, but better. On each side, I have made a little bow, a couple of loops and a tail, and I have it wired on both sides, each side. So where it meets the wreath, that will be there, and it won't just be the ends of the ribbon. So I'm going to set that aside for now because I think that'll probably be the last thing that I'll put on. So let's talk about these little bundles. Move this back. So what I have done, I've made this one, and we'll make the others together. So I cut 5 pieces of the 1.5 inch ribbon, and I cut each one 26 inches long. Let me make sure that's right. Yep, so 26 inches, and we'll go over making the little bows with these. And then I also have mesh. This is kind of it was interesting, it's kind of khaki, kind of a burlap color, but then it has a little bit of variation in there too, which I thought looked kind of neat. I cut these at 20 inches. So all we do to make a bundle, let's make one. I'm going to take our wire, like I said, this is 26 gauge. I'm going to cut it at about 15 inches. You can cut it longer if you want to, 15, 16 inches, something like that. You just want to make sure that you have enough. Wire is fairly inexpensive. I don't like to waste it, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too short either. So I'm going to do it just kind of the same way that I do when I make a regular bow in my bow dabra. I'm going to fold it in half. So over here I have a loop. You can probably see there's a loop. And over here we have 2 ends that are just cut. So I'm going to put this wire in my bow dabra, just like I do for a regular bow. It's a lot shorter, as you can see, so it's not going to fold under. That's okay. I'm just going to put it right there for now. Let's rearrange those little guys. I'm going to move a wreath over here. I'm going to take my piece of mesh. We're going to make a ruffle. So if you've made any kind of ruffle, you know what to do. Just stretch it out. You know what? I'm going to move the camera down so you can see better. Okay. Is that better? Yes. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to lay it out. Move that bundle over here so you can see a little bit better. I lay it out. Take one end. This is on the cut edge, so the shorter edge. This is 10-inch mesh. Fold it under just a little bit, and then you just walk your fingers right up the middle. And what that does is it pleats it. Makes it into a ruffle. You'll see in just a second. I put something heavy on the end because that helps it stay out flat. So when you're done, you have kind of like a bow tie. You can see? You can see that a little bit? So we're going to take this in the center of it. We're going to put right down in our bow dabber, just like we do ribbon for a bow. And in this case, the bow dabber is going to be a holder for us. See? Okay. And it holds that pleat, as you can see. And our wire is in there. You can see that too. So now we're going to take a piece of our ribbon. Remember, I cut this at 26 inches. We're going to make a tail of about 4.5 inches. So come in about 4.5 inches and pinch it, just like we're making a bow. What we're doing is just making just little miniature bows. And then I'm going to make a loop of about 3.5 inches. So I'll go out to the 7 and bring that in, put it in my fingers and pinch it. So you see we've got that one loop. We've got our tail. Now this ribbon, since it's basically the same on the front and back, I'm not going to twist it. It makes it even easier. So we're going to do the same thing. Going to make another loop, come out to the 7, bring it over, put it in our fingers, pinch it. We've got our second tail. So let's measure these, bring them up like I've shown you before. Just kind of bring them up and they're about the same length, you can see. So it just makes a little miniature bow. Got 2 tails, 2 loops. Okay? Really simple. We're going to put it down in the bow dabber, just like any other bow that we made. Alright, so now's where the bundle comes in. We're going to finish up our bundle, I guess. So just kind of slowly bring that up. You bring your 2 pieces of wire, or your 2 ends of wire up, just like you're making a bow. Open up that loop. I'll show you what I'm doing, if I can. So you open up the loop. So I've got my finger in it, and bring those 2 cut ends through. Just like that. The whole time, kind of take your other fingers and hold your mesh and your ribbon down in the bow dabber till you get it gathered up a little bit. You tighten that wire just like that at the top. Get it good and tight so you can see how that is. So just like we do with the bow, separate those 2 wires. There we go. Bring them around to the back. One on one side, one on the other side. Bring them up tight and twist. And just like I do with the bow, I always think it's a little bit easier to twist the bow, in this case the mesh and the ribbon, than it is to twist the wire. And there we go, there's a little bundle. Once we get it on there, we'll fluff it up. You won't be able to see the wire. We'll probably trim our ends. In fact, I can go ahead and do that now, I guess. This just makes a cute little accent, and I think it's going to coordinate fairly well with our other pretty ribbon, the God Bless America piece that we're going to put across the center. So there you go. There's our second bundle. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing 3 more times. Roll out some wire. Fold that in half. Put it down in our bow dabber. And just hold it there. Okay, we're going to take a piece of mesh. I went ahead and cut my ribbon and my mesh and everything just to speed it up a little bit. I would rather spend a little time focusing on, putting things together than I would on kind of cutting the materials, I guess, right now. It's okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. Right up the middle. I fold the edge under just a little bit. Run right up the middle with your fingers. Kind of making those pleats the whole time you're holding all that in the middle. Then you put it right down in your bow dabber, just like that. on top of that wire that we put earlier. Okay. You know, the bow dabber, I know it's just a bow maker, or it's just known as a bow maker, but if you have problems with your hands, if your hands hurt, or if you're just learning like I am, it is wonderful just as like another hand. It will help you. It will hold things. I often will make bows or make loops, or like if I'm going to make a bundle kind of like this, I'll put things down in the bow dabber and it'll just hold it for me, which is great. So, all right, let's make another loop. Going to come out about 5 inches or so. Pinch it. Come out to the 7, because we're going to make these the loops about 3.5, and pinch that. So right now we've just got a tail and a loop, right? Okay. Come out about to the 7 again. Bring that over. Put it between my thumb and forefinger and pinch. So now we have just another cute little bow, just like that first one. We're going to put it down in the bow dabber. Going to grab both ends of the wire and start coming, slowly bringing it up, bringing that mesh and ribbon up. Before it comes all the way out, I get the end of the wire that has the loop, feed the other 2 pieces through it, and pull it up tight. That's one good thing about using the 26 gauge wire. It's a little on the thin side. It's really flexible, and you can cinch that up like that. With thicker wire, it's a little bit harder to do. You can do it, but it's not quite as easy. So that's one good thing about the 26 gauge. All right, let's get these wires separated. One around on each side to the back, and twist. Twist it 3 or 4 good times. You want it on there tightly. You don't want it to let loose if you can help it. All right, there's your 3rd bundle. Like I said, we will flip these out and make them look pretty once we get them on there. So we continue on. 2 more to go and we'll be done with the bundle making, at least. I would cut my wire ahead of time, but every time I do that I end up losing it. It falls on the floor and I can't find it, so cut that, slip it in our bow dabber. Piece of mesh, lay it out flat, something on the end to weight it down, and here we go. I'm going to make another ruffle. Fold it under just a little and run right up the middle. Just take your time with this. You don't have to go too fast. It will be fine. Chances are it's going to come out and look great anyway, but right there in the middle, put that down in the bow dabber. Flip it, looks like it's in the middle, that's good. Get a piece of ribbon, measure out about 5 inches for a tail, pinch it, measure out 7 for our first loop, pinch it, 7 for our next loop, pinch it, and there we go. Put that down in our bow dabber, grab hold of that wire, it up slowly. Right through there. Holding it. There we go. Cinch that up tightly. That's good. Separate our wire. One around one side to the back, the other around the other side to the back. And then twist. Okay. Looks good. And then one more. All right, here we go. I think I just knocked about half of them. Actually, most of them on the floor. That's okay. We'll get them. I'm really not crafting if I'm not knocking stuff on the floor anyway, so here we go. All right. Last bundle. Wire and a bow dabber there. Grab our mesh. Lay it out. And go right up the middle. I want to take just a second to thank all of you for joining me today and to ask you if you would to like this video and share it, and I would appreciate if you would consider subscribing to my channel. That way, every time I put on a new video, you'll get notified. I appreciate it very much. I do recognize that there are a lot of other things you could be doing with your time, and you're choosing to spend it watching me, and I appreciate that very much. If you get a minute, I would love it if in the comments you would leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching from. I'm in Tennessee. You probably could tell from my accent that I'm in the South somewhere. So I am Tennessee girl, born and bred. I would love to know where you're from. Let me know a little bit about you. That would be wonderful. All right, so our last bundle. Got that pulled up tight. Separate our wire around to the back and the back. And twist. All right. All right, let's clear this off just a little bit. And bring our wreath over here. So before we started, I tried to find some spots on the wreath that maybe were looking really bare, like they needed some help. And I will tell you, I have my glue gun plugged in and warming up, because sometimes when you do this, you might need to pull out, you know, some flowers or some leaves or something and put them in a different spot. So just go ahead and have your glue gun ready to go. Let's see. I found some spots, so we want to space this out kind of evenly. So if we do one there, and maybe one here, that's 2, 3, and then 4, and then another one here, 5. I think that will work. So, all right, so we're going to start. I've got my bundle. Just going to nestle it down in here. And you can either, this is your choice, you can choose to either run this wire through the wreath, or you can do it around the wreath. In this case, it doesn't really matter, you know, either way. Sometimes I don't like to put the wire around the outside of the wreath if you're going to do it up tight, because it can bind it up, and then if you're going to put other florals and things in there, it makes it hard to get through the wreath. But in this case, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to try running this through here. We'll see how that works for me. Sometimes that will work, and sometimes the wire has a different idea. I think this is one of those times. Oh, there's one. You can even do it half and half if you want to. Do one through the middle and then one on an outer edge. That's fine. In this case, I was able to get both of them back there. That's good. So I'm going to lay this down so you can see, hopefully. Yep. Okay. Put that in there. I'll pull it up tight, but I'm not tightening it just yet. I'm just holding it back here with my hand at the moment. Kind of see how we have that in there? See how that's going to look? All right, I'm going to tighten it up back here. Consequently, this one is at the top of the wreath, or the one what they have marked as the top, but we may end up moving that. Who knows? All right. I have learned I'm not going to cut my wire off just yet until I'm closer to being done, because I've had to move things before, and then it can kind of be a pain. So I'm going to take just a minute, take the mesh, you know, kind of move it around, move your flowers around, fluff your ribbon just a little bit. We're not done yet, so it's not that big of a, it's not that big of a concern, but you can do it just a little bit if you want to start. Okay, here we go. And we may end up moving one of these. We'll see. I may end up moving some of these flowers around to different spots. I'm going to go ahead and cut this ribbon while I'm at it. You can also dovetail it if you would rather do that. Alright, so there's our first one. See that? Alright, so 4 more to go. Let's find our next spot. Just want to do these kind of, I think right there's a good one. Let's find one of these. We're going to do the very same thing. I may try fishing my wire through like I did before. I had pretty good luck before. We'll see how it goes this time. if you have, this is one of the benefits, I guess. This would be a benefit of using thicker wire. It is much easier to get it through the wreath. But all right, there's one end. Let's see here. Hang on to that. See if I can get this other end to go through. Yep, there it is. Good deal. Same kind of thing. So just cinch it up down there on your wreath. There'll be time to move it around in a minute if you want to. You'll need to adjust it and do all that. That's fine. Just pull it up tight. Give it at least 3 or 4 good twists. You don't want it going anywhere. At least not unless you decide you want it to. Okay. Take a minute and we'll do the same thing we did before. Take our mesh, spread it around. There's a little string. Anytime you're working with mesh, it's going to fray. So just don't be surprised by that or discouraged. You just take it in stride and work on it. So I'm pulling that dude out. He wasn't even stuck in anyway. And we'll figure out a better place to put him. Okay, that'll do for now. Let's fluff up our bow. And I already trimmed that so you can see. Now we've got 2 in here. So the idea is, of course, is for the mesh and the ribbon not to take over, but to become part of it, part of the wreath. Not necessarily the focal point. You just want all the wreath parts to be in here together. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think this is a good spot for another one. All right, same thing again. I'm sure by now you've figured out what we're going to do. I'm going to try to run it through here this time. Sorry I can't zoom in better for you to see this, but I think you get the idea of what's going on. Alright, there's one end, one piece of wire. My other piece. Okay, same thing. Put mesh down there. One piece, we'll pull it up. All right, tighten that up. Okay. There we go. Trim these ribbons while we're here. All right, there's 3. Now we're going to have room to get 2 more on here. We might end up just doing 1 more. I think right here. Alright. So that's what happens when you create on the fly. This is kind of how it works. Sometimes you change midstream, but that's okay. It's just part of the process. Part of why we love it, right? No rules, whatever makes you happy. There's one end. Now that makes me happy. And there's the other end. Okay, pull that down. Okay, tighten that now. All right, remember, the mesh and the ribbon are not the focal points. They're just blending in with all the other elements of the wreath. So we just got one more little piece of ribbon to trim here. All right. Now you know what? There would be nothing at all wrong with leaving this wreath like it is. I mean, it's pretty. See that? Speaking of that, let's see. I think I see where I want to put our flower that came out. We need a little bit of red right here. So, I'm going to do that real quick. And then we'll figure out where we're going to put our banner. Banner is the word I was trying to remember earlier, and of course couldn't. Alright, just wedge that down in there. While we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, I'm going to kind of look at the rest of the wreath and see if I need to rearrange anything. Any flowers that need to go somewhere different. I may wait a little bit on that because I do want to figure out where we're going to put the banner and all that. So. Remember, you can take these flowers, you can bend them and shape them, and if you need to, just, put them somewhere else. It's totally up to you. You're the boss. Okay. Now, let's bring our banner. Let's figure this guy out. So what I envision is something like this. Nestled in there just a little bit. But with God Bless America, so you can see it. So I may want to put it maybe up on top of a flower or something. I've got to figure that out. Let's see. I definitely want it so that you can see the God Bless America. Prominently, like that maybe. And then I can move flowers around and stuff. Okay, that's what we're going with. Remember, we can always change it. Okay, so these two ends have wires on them just like our little bundles that we made, so I'm going to try to do the same sort of thing with them. See if I can run it down through there. Alright, there's one piece, one end, and let's see about this other end. There it is, over there. Alright. So there we go, and I'll cut that ribbon in just a minute as well. I don't think I'm going to tighten this down quite as tight as I did those others, because I want it to stick up just a little bit. So kind of like that. I'm just going to twist it. It's not going to go anywhere. Not worried about that. Leave it there where it is. Okay, so there's one end. Good, and I will figure out what to do. We'll work on this in a minute when we'll rearrange flowers or do something. Okay, we're going to get this other one and put it over here. Same thing that we did before. Find a spot here. I'm actually kind of going intentionally on top of over a flower instead of moving them out of the way, because it kind of lifts it up a little bit. So, wow, that went through easily. All right, there's one end. And there's another one. Awesome. Okay, let's look at this and see what we think. Okay, put it down just a tad. Twist it. All right, let's see what we got. It's pretty, I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, please. Let's see. Yeah, let's dovetail this guy. And under here. All right. So here's what we can do, and you know, you can spend, in fact I will, I'm sure, spend time after we're done here rearranging and fluffing and placing and that kind of thing. That is to be expected. So don't be discouraged if it's not exactly like you want it to be immediately. Which, you know, that's just part of the process, I think. Okay, let's fold that down a little bit. Now, if you wanted to, you could, of course, add some other embellishments on here, some other elements. Fold that up a little bit. Whatever you would like to do. There's our wreath. Let's see. I don't think it looks too bad. I wouldn't mind, you know, maybe having some more geraniums to add in here or something, so I may look for that, and I may make a couple more additions if I could find some red geraniums, or you know, some kind of blue flower would be nice too. I kind of like it kind of brings your eye to it. I think when you just have the God Bless America in blue, I think it kind of draws your eye to it instead of there being a lot of blue and then it can't really seem to focus. So you could certainly make some, you know, do more mesh or make some other bows and sprinkle throughout here. Nothing wrong with that at all. That would be pretty. Right now, I think we're in decent shape. What we need here. This one needs a little bit. Need some more red up here, so I'll figure out what I can do with that. Might look a little bit better. You still see the ribbon peeking out. Anyway, all right, there we go. All that's left now is to put a card on it, put a hanger on the back, and make sure that the back looks okay. As part of that, I need to go snip off all my wires, now that I think about that. Do not forget, do not, you know, wait until the end and think, well, I'll take care of that later. Let me just tell you, you'll sell a wreath or you'll do something and you'll forget about it, and then it will go out with wire on it, or you know, something sticking out, which is not good. So always make sure that you're thinking, if you're selling these, or even for yourself, either way, you're thinking about what's on the back of it that could potentially scratch a door or, you know, a wall or wherever it's being hung. So just think about that. Right now I'm just snipping these off and tucking them down inside there. I think I've got one more. Yeah, right there. Now, if you wanted to, here's some strings. I'm gonna do these too. If you wanted to, perfectly fine, and I may do that. Sometimes as a little extra holding, just go and put some glue over those. It's extra cushioning, and it also helps hold your whatever your element is. It helps hold it in place. I don't really know where that end is, so whoops, there's one I missed. No, I didn't. There we go. I just missed part of it. Okay, snip that, tuck that in. Oh, that's from the banner we put. That's what that is. Put that there, and then one more right here. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 4 bundles in our banner. Let's see if I can pick this up without putting my hand in the hot glue. So here we go. So I would probably go ahead and put a hanger on the back here just to help your customer. They can certainly hang it, you know, through the grapevine, but I think I would probably put a hanger on there just to help them. All right. Thank you all so much. I'm so glad you joined me today while we made this patriotic wreath. God Bless America, with using a pre-made wreath as a base and then just embellishing it with some more elements, mostly ribbon and mesh, and really pretty simple, but I think it turned out well. Thank you so much for joining me. I would appreciate it if you would like and share this video, and then also subscribe to my channel. Then every time I put out a new video, you'll get notified. I appreciate very much you spending your time with me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.